IMMR, Immersion. Just been asked to look at this by one of my members. Quite funny, it all happened at the same time as a troll going, it's all about greed for you. You want all this money to do all this work. Anyway, Immersion. We had a funny moment, right? Get over it. Professional, making a video. IMMR Immersion. He asked me to have a quick look at it. It's not a full review by any means, but we'll have a quick look at it. What is it? Immersion Corp engages in the creation, design, development, and leasing of patent haptic innovations and software. The firm, what does it say? Offers touch sense platform and design services. It's focused on the following target application: mobile, wearable, consumer. Okay, I get an idea. This is not a review. It's just a general look. Let's look at the size of the company. It's got a dividend of 2.13. Price to earnings ratio is 4. So it looks cheap with a dividend. That's interesting. So it seems quite cheap for a dividend paying stock as well. Anyway, we'll look at that. Market cap is 271 million. Very, very small. So anything around 100 million, we can actually influence on our stock. Not intentionally, but it's so small. If enough people watch the video and buy it on a bullish review, it actually moves it. We can do that on a small one. Not this one. This is a bit too big, but not intentionally, but it does happen. By the way, I don't own the stock, so you can't blame me if it goes up or down, right? I'm not pumping or dumping it. I never do that. We've got some selling recently. That's taken the stock down from hedge funds. What about insiders? Not much of a story at the moment to say there. Earnings, well, we've been missing on earnings, beating on earnings, and then a massive beat Q2 24. What's happening next? Well, November the 19th, we could cover this earnings. If our viewer wants to do a $5 super chat, yes, troll, $5. And I will make a video and do an earnings and everything else. There you go. So maybe we could get some movement on that and get the CEO on the show. We do a Meet the CEO series. I used to be in this stock. Look at that. 2 years ago, IMMR. I used to be in it. I sold it 2 years ago. Did I make a profit? At $53? Yeah, I did. I made a huge amounts of money. Right, let's have a look. If you like this video so far, this is not a review, just a quick look for one of my members. I'm just being nice because I can be nice sometimes. Here is the intrinsic value, potentially undervalued by 68%, but we cannot go on just that. That's not enough. That's what people look at and go, I'm going to buy it. No, not enough. We go further down. Let's look at the revenue. The revenue is up 131%, expecting that to increase. That's good. Operating income is up and we have an S curve, but why are we falling away? But that's 2025, but we are expecting to see the income go up. That's good. Net income is up 49%, bit more before it falls away in 25. That might be why people are starting to sell it. Let's have a look. Investing cash flow, operating cash flow is down. Okay, what about their assets? The company, 244 million in assets, cash 179. Too much cash. I like a business with cash, but not that amount. It means they're not doing anything with the cash. They're just basically holding cash. What's their debt position? They have no long-term debt, no short-term debt. They're just holding cash. When I see a business with little cash, little small cap, but nearly all cash with no debt, it's a bit like DJT, Donald Trump. It's just a business which holds cash. Is it doing anything? Don't know. Might not be it probably wouldn't be one for me. Gross margin 36% in the industry is okay, but it fell off a cliff though, didn't it? Of 2023. It's improved 36. It's gone back up again. That's interesting. What happened there? Operating margin, I need to look further. This is not a full review by any means, so I'm just skipping over these numbers. Otherwise, it becomes a review, right? Profitability, 88% profitability, but it's selling very little. That's like me selling something for $10. That cost me $1, and I make a 90% profit. Sorry, I make a 900% profit, right? I buy it for $1, sell it for 1,000. Sorry, 10. But it can be easy to make a large profit when you're only selling a few things. And the solvency is good because they're just holding cash and have no debts. So it's very easy. This is like a DJT stock. It looks great. initial look, there's lots of profit, there's lots of solvency, but it doesn't mean to say it's going to go anywhere. However, but Wall Street will say 60% worst case scenario, up. Worst case scenario, 64%. Worst case scenario, 73%. So let's, plus you got a dividend. Okay, so let me just wrap this up. This is only a short look. It's an interesting sector. It's a sort of sector I like. A lot of competition though. It's very, very small business. It's very difficult to compete against bigger companies. However, we all start somewhere. Doesn't have any debt to bring it down, but that doesn't mean to say it's great. But it's not going to go bust, though. You can buy it knowing it's not going to go bust. Wall Street are giving it a good growth. There is some potential there for some future growth. There's a good chance. It's short interest. Well, I just look at the short interest. That's the only thing. Short interest is this is not a long review, so I have to skip off it. I can't see it quickly. I'd need to dive deeper, but I don't see it at the minute. I've just noticed some insiders have just started to buy the stock. There it is. There is some insiders just starting to buy. Let me share with you just there. I can't give you the short interest at the moment without going into a further dive, and I'm not going to do that on this video, so I'll get back to that if we get more interest on it. But anyway, there you go. It's interesting. It's an interesting stock. It could be undervalued. It's not going to go bust. It's a good industry, hasn't got any debt, got plenty of potential growth, plenty of potential. Would I buy it on that? No. I would need to understand what the CEO is doing. I build relationships on Instagram and X. I'd also look at the short position, look at more of the business where the money might come from. But it's interesting. It's not a review, just a quick look for one of my members. Click above my head, down below in the description. Over here, if I've got a playlist for Immersion, I'll put it up there. And down here, the FOMC report. We're covering that live today. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.